In this module, you are going to learn how to use functions in a C++ program. So, let me first describe to you what a function is. A function is simply a block of code that performs a specific task. Now, you must be wondering why we need functions. So, what we do actually, we break a single large program into manageable smaller blocks or units or functions. And the main reason is that it is easier to debug, it's easier to understand, and also this is a very good advantage that function can be reused many times without duplicating the code. So basically functions are of two types, and they are void functions and value returning functions. Now, what is a void function? Void function do not return any value. Sometimes you want to return a value to the calling functions, and sometimes you don't. So void functions do not return any value, and they are mainly used to display information. So let me show you the syntax of a void function, and this is how you define a void function. This first line is known as header, and rest of the function is body. Now this header has three parts. The first word, void, this is the return type. Since we do not return any value, we just simply put the word void. Then void is followed by the function name. We need to give a name so that we can call this function whenever we want to execute these statements. So void is followed by function name, and then it is followed by parameters, and they are enclosed inside the parentheses. It is possible to get data from the calling functions, and that's where we put the parameters. And these are the statements which we want to be executed, and we again enclose them in curly braces. And again, it's a good practice to put this comment end of function. So let's look at a solid example. So let's say I have this void function. So this again, void is the return data type. In our case, it's void. Display dashes is the function name. And in this example, we do not have any parameters. So we simply put left and right parentheses. Now what this function does, it simply displays a line of dashes. That's all it does. So if I ask you to write a void function which displays a line of 12 dashes, this is how the definition will look like. Now you have to remember one golden rule. A function starts executing its statements only when called. If you don't call a function, the statements will not be executed, even though the definition is there in the program, but it will not be executed. Exception is function main, which starts executing automatically when it is run. So let me show you this complete program. You can see we have our usual pound include IO stream using namespace standard, and this is our function definition, void function definition. You put it above the main function, and this is our main function. Now, the execution begins from function main. So, when the program encounters this display dashes, then it branches to where the definition is. So, it branches to this line and then it displays this dashed line, and this is the end of the function. It goes back to the statement after the call. By the way, this is how you call a void function. Display dashes, just the name of the function and followed by the set of parentheses. So, when we come back from the void function, it will display ABC incorporated, and then another function call is encountered. So, it goes back to the same place and it comes back to the return 0 statement. So, that's how it looks like. So, you might have guessed the output. We would have ABC incorporated, and right above we would have a dashed line and a dashed line below ABC. This is how our output would look like. So, let's go back to C++ and let me run this program. And this is our complete program. This is the function definition and this is function main. So, let's compile and run our program, and here is our output. ABC incorporated, but we have a dashed line right above it and a dashed line right below it. I can call this function many times. That's the advantage of writing as a function. So, let me copy this like that and let me paste it one more time and let me run it. And you can see now we have two dashed lines above ABC incorporated and we have two lines below it. Now, many times, many programmers, they don't like to put the function definition above the main function. They prefer it after the main function. The reason is, when this program executes, it starts from main function. So, logically, they want to see the main function first. But if we do like that and let me compile and run it, you will see we will get errors. And the reason is, when program executes and when it comes to line 9, it does not know, the compiler does not know what display dashes it is. So, what we do to overcome this error, we prototype the function. So, let me go to this presentation and talk to you about prototypes. So, prototype statement, we put it near the top before any function call. It looks very similar to the function header and it ends with a semicolon. So, for our previous example, void display dashes, left and right parentheses and semicolon, that's how the prototype will look like. So, let's go back to our program and let's put the prototype, right here. What we do, we copy this header, Control C, Control V and a semicolon. So, this is our prototype, and in your prototype, you again specify the return type, name of the function, set of parentheses, and if you have any parameters, we put it inside here. In this example, we do not have any parameters and semicolon. So let's build this program. And you see it has succeeded now. And let's run this program. And here is our output. So this example uses the prototype. Now let's see an example where we have a parameter. So let me come to this program. What this program does, it gets two numbers from the user and displays its sum. Now pay attention to this program. We are using a void function to display sum. And this is our prototype. As if you pay attention to line 8, in this scenario, we do have two parameters. We do have to specify their data types. We don't have to mention the variable names. Data types are enough. If you have more than one parameter, you separate them with a comma. So that's how prototype will look like, and this is the corresponding function definition. Void display sum, and these are our two parameters. Here we do have to specify the variable names. So we have int n1, int n2, and this displays their sum. Now what happens when I'll run this program? The first number, the value of the first number will go to n1. The value of the second number, num2, will go to n2. And so let's run this program, and it's prompting me to enter the first number. Let's enter 5, then enter second number. Let's enter 10, and their sum is 15. So this third line is coming from line 29, which is inside the function. So please pay attention to three things in a void function. A prototype is the first thing, then how to call a function. This is how you will call a void function, line 21, and you need to pay attention to how to define a void function. Like you should know the syntax of a header, like that. So thank you for watching this video, and please tune in to the second part where we will discuss value returning functions. Thank you.